Sir. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Matchmakers. Man, I accidentally sent the wrong leak, man. So, but we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, let's do it. Can't nothing stop this today.
Nah, Alex, we're gonna call this the hot seat. Alex, that's what we're gonna call this. You know what I'm saying? Because um, yeah, man, there's a lot of questions that need to be asked and need to be answered, and that's why we doing it. Y'all know we gonna be our voice for those who don't want to rub anybody the wrong way. We gonna
Mhm,
do it for you. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go ahead
absolutely.
and ask the questions. I think I sent Alex the wrong link, so Alex gonna come in in a little bit. But like I say, whatever question that y'all got, man, make sure that y'all stay tuned and make sure y'all stay in here for the duration, because this one, like I said, man, it's gonna be called Alex Hot Seat. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button real quick. Hit the subscribe button because y'all see what we trying to do with this channel. We trying to build this channel, for y'all to have an outlet to go to. And yeah, man, we're gonna talk about some of them snubs that we talked about. We're gonna talk a
Mhm,
little bit about everything, and we gonna basically make Alex answer all the questions that you guys have, because it's about y'all.
right.
And for the record, before he even come on here, I want to say this, man. We not saying that the kids that are in there doesn't deserve to be. What we're saying is
Mhm,
that there are some players that got snubbed, that we have to make sure that they have a voice within this, because they feeling like they did something wrong, and it ain't nobody did nothing wrong. You
right.
know, when politics come into the play, then sometimes players get left out, and we don't
Right.
want to play the politics. We are politic free. You know,
Absolutely.
that's what we are. But go ahead, Fanatic.
Yeah, man. And I want to give a big shout out to Alex for just putting that list together. You know what I'm saying? I know it take a lot of work to put lists together like that, but yeah, man, a lot of texts, a lot of calls from a lot of kids that just want to know how the list even comes about. Like, how do you even get on this type of list? How are you evaluating based on my year? Are you evaluating based on my projection? And things of that nature, man. So I definitely feel like some conversations need to be had. I've had a lot of good talks with a lot of good coaches over the past couple days, about certain just the talent on that list and maybe some sleeper kids that maybe I didn't even, maybe didn't have much knowledge on. Got some film sent to me, so I do want to commend his list, but the seat burning hot, man.
Oh yeah,
The seat is burning hot.
the seat. Hey, if y'all got questions, man, make sure
This
when
the
when
time to
Alex come in,
ask.
y'all need to ask,
This
because
the time to ask.
I don't know if you got your list. I gotta at least maybe like 5 or 6 players that I need to know why they ain't on that
Yeah, I
list.
guarantee you our list. You probably think we twinning. I guarantee you our list look the same, man. I
Hey,
guarantee it.
and don't be shy, man, with the questions, just
I
because.
got to, man. I got to. I'm on the hot seat, man. My people's got me on the hot seat too around here. They telling me, look, man, you gotta ask this, you gotta ask that. We need some answers to this. We need some answers to that.
Oh
And,
yeah,
I feel like I can't get off the line today if questions don't get answered.
yeah, it's the same here, man. So they told me that they told me to ask some questions, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
definitely ask them.
Right.
But like, for the most part, man, I think that he's doing a really good job. All these kids are doing a really good job. But like I say, man, one of the things that people may not know is that I always root for the underdog.
Right.
I remember when nobody was liking Mook like that or talking about Mook,
Hmm.
and I remember driving for him and Boogie to New Orleans to go film their game, and a lot of people took a liking to Mook after a while. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So um, I see a lot of potential in certain kids, but at the same time, Mook was reaching out to me. He was talking to me. He was asking for pictures. He was asking for a lot of things,
Mhm.
and that's the part that y'all need to understand. Y'all got to sell yourself when it comes to this, because
Right.
even if nobody is paying attention to y'all, when you're talking to the right people, those right people are going to help you and represent you, especially when they think that you're the goods and you have the potential. So one of the things that um I remember is that they just came up to me like, "Hey man, like nobody really records me. Could you record me? Could you come to my games?" Yes, I was at the game, and now some of them people are known. Now a lot of people know who Mook is. Now a
Um,
lot of people are paying
Mook
attention.
different.
Mook is now on a lot of people's radar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I pride myself on being one of the first ones to say, like, okay, when nobody else was paying attention to Mook, I was, and I was able to help him out a little bit. Now I don't know if they would say or remembers any of that, but for the most part, I can say that we did our thing. But Alex, come on, man. Come on, man. Alex trying, hey, y'all. Alex trying to avoid y'all question. That's the only answer I can give y'all right now.
Yeah. But while he getting on, I will say too, man, Mook could give a master class on promotion, and probably his parents. I'm sure they're a part of this, so I'll say Mook's family can give a master class, man, on promotion, on how to really put yourself out there, how to brand yourself. You feel what I'm saying? How to really just consistently stay in the people's eye in a positive way. So I definitely want to give Mook his credit and his shine.
Hey, y'all. Another thing too, for y'all that don't put your videos out there. I've literally went to so many profiles, IG profiles, and y'all don't have no footage.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to sit there and do a comparison because tomorrow we got the lineman. I ain't gonna tell y'all who it is. We're gonna
It's
post it.
time.
We
It's
got a
time.
we got a
This the
nice
hard. This might be one of the hardest ones. I know I say that every week, but this
yeah.
might be one of the hardest
We
ones.
we we got we got the matchmakers and we got two linemen, and that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough, and we trying to find out ways to compare certain players. But a
Hmm.
lot of y'all don't even got footage. A lot of y'all don't even have video footage. And it makes it hard for us to compare when other people are doing their due diligence, and we able to get pictures from it. We're able to pull a video from it, so that way when we doing the matchmakers, and I'm gonna be honest, Fanatic, we got so many, bro. We gonna have to do
Yeah,
uh
we're
we
gonna
gonna
have
have
to
to
ramp
do
it up.
two. Yeah, we gonna have
Yeah,
to
we're gonna
ramp
have to
it up.
ramp it up, man. Cause I got kids like, come on, man, how you ain't do me yet? How you? Cause I got a lot of these Midwest kids, man. We got to, these 12 U's is trying to figure out how they ain't. Y'all been highlighting these 13 U's. Why this 12? 12 ain't getting no love. Okay, cool. 12 gonna get some love, man. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? We got to get some of these 11 youth. They got to get some love. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole Georgia Eagles. We got a whole Fort Lauderdale. We got a whole Miami Gardens. You know my Florida people on me right now. My Miami Gardens Ravens, my Fort Lauderdales.
Yeah.
They on me right now to try to figure out why they okay. You know, we're gonna start talking.
Yes. So we got a nice lineup. So
Yeah,
therefore, we're gonna have to make sure that we get more people out there. But y'all got to do y'all part. I'm
right.
telling you, what don't y'all understand? And make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. What don't y'all understand? This is y'all platform. If y'all don't appreciate it, then we building it like it's no reason to build it. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because it's for y'all. So y'all gonna need at one point in time, if y'all not getting that recognition, kind of like now, this platform is kind of like for today, which means that we got somebody that y'all want to, try to get in front of. We bringing them to y'all the connection so we can get y'all the exposure. That's the same thing for these colleges and all that. That's why it's important to help build this platform and for
Absolutely.
y'all to subscribe to here and Fanatic. You know what I'm saying? Because it's for that. But y'all see, Alex is on that hot seat and he know it, and he taking this little sweet time.
You can't
And,
avoid this.
yeah, you can't
I,
avoid it.
I once heard Batman, man, at a national tournament, tell everybody there, you can't avoid this. You can't avoid this for too much longer. You gonna have to. So, yeah, man. It's so many kids, man. I think one kid that I think I failed to mention too was Sincere Roebuck. He go by Tunk, number 4 Dream Chaser. So I definitely want to give a shout out to Tunk. I think we forgot to mention him the last time on this list. And one of Tunk's, I guess you can consider maybe he went on the list because he don't play middle school ball, but that's a conversation that we definitely gonna have today. But yeah, man, we definitely need y'all to continue to tune in, continue to comment, like, subscribe. Go ahead, start dropping your questions in. I guarantee you it ain't gonna be too much longer before, you know, the main man walks in. Uh, while we waiting on Alex, man, somebody else, man, that me and my guy gonna have to talk about, man. We're gonna have to talk about getting my guy from R&R Sports Media, my guy Coach Allen on here, so he can also talk about his national top 100 and all of that good stuff. Him and Coach Darren from the Seal work really close together, so
Hold on, y'all. Okay, so we
the man, the myth, and the legend.
what's up, man?
Hey man, just an honor just to be on the phone with you guys, man.
Hold
You
on,
know what
let
I'm
me move.
saying? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Got my face cut off a
I
little
know, no,
bit
no. I'm
here.
about to. I'm moving that now.
The
All
man,
right.
the myth, the legend. I have gotten calls, texts. I feel like I'm in trouble when it you done got me in trouble. I ain't did nothing.
No, ain't nobody do nothing wrong. We good to go. We all good to go.
So
Let me
I
make
was
sure I
like,
turn
hey,
this up a little bit in here.
we
There we
gonna
go.
definitely try to get him on, ask him as many questions as we can
Yeah, yeah,
before he got to go.
yeah, absolutely.
All
We gonna wait
right,
on.
so
Go ahead,
so
Ken.
as I've been getting kind of burnt for this because you know how it go when people kids are already in there. Then when you kind of shake the fist, you know a lot of them they start complaining and stuff. But when those who didn't make it in there, they okay with what we are doing. So we
Mhm.
did your some of your top 50 lists.
Yeah.
and and basically, you know, as we was doing that, I was trying to figure out the angle of why like you had mostly like linemen in a top 10. So I was trying
Mhm.
to see like what was the mindset that you guys were going through when you put that list together.
Yeah, man. So first, I am part of the group that puts together the list. The guy that we hired that heads up the list now is Coach Gary Downs. Um, Anybody knows Coach Gary Downs is? He just came from East Tennessee State. He works in the recruiting department. His son is Josh Downs and Caleb Downs. Josh just broke the single season rookie record for most receptions by the Colts. And then, of course, Caleb Downs is doing his thing now at Ohio State. He was the SEC Freshman of the Year. And also Downs coached high school football and played college football and played the pros. So he's about as good as they come right about now, right? So he's our final sign-off guy on it. And just this year is the year of the lineman. You know, it's the year of the lineman, offensive lineman, defensive lineman. You got an amazing group of young men out there that have a chance to achieve a very high level with their work ethic. So, you know, you celebrate them and praise them for who they are.
Okay. So, Coach, is this a projection list or is
Mhm.
this a production list or is it a little bit of both?
Yeah, I think whenever you look at rankings, it's a couple things you want to do, right? So you do want to say, okay, production, right? What is a kid's production? And everybody thinks their league is the hardest league. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you get a chance to see kids participate when you get a chance to go to, let's say, the Under Armour event, or you come to our event, our B2C All American game, Georgia Elite. What's the other one? FBU. They got some good stuff going on. Summer Shine in Virginia or Las Vegas now. So you get to see a lot of kids and how they participate. You know, what you might see a kid do well at 12U and they're an eighth grader, when they play against other eighth graders, it gets a little more difficult out there. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say the kid isn't good. He's probably just not used to the speed of the game just yet for that particular kid. So all these kids we think will have done well, and of course, what you say projection, we think they will do well down the road. I mean, I think this is our God. We started back when Trevor was a rising freshman, Trevor Lawrence, and we projected him. We picked him as our number one guy, and ever since then, we've had a pretty good list. I was very proud of. We got a call from a Power 5 school, and they said, "Hey, we're looking to offer all 10 of your kids in the top 10." And they showed me the board and everything like that. I took a picture of it and said, "Hey, we got all those kids listed on our list right now." You know what I'm saying, for rising freshmen. So I think when you have that type of credibility as a evaluator, then you have somebody like Coach Gary Downs with his credibility. It just speaks volumes to what we've been able to do over the past almost 16 years now.
Okay, so now I think everybody on that list actually deserve to be on that list, right?
Yeah.
Now the placement, I don't necessarily, agree with. I don't.
That's okay.
That's just me or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think because I wanted to see why you can have somebody like Cypher at 33. And because when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, Cypher at least 5, right? And I'm like, okay, as I was looking, I'm like, okay, lineman, and we all agree with that number one. Maybe everybody except for Fanatic, but we both agree with that number one. But like, I was just basically like, are you guys just picking the top 50, or that's the order that you believe that they're far as from, I guess, the good to, I ain't gonna say not so good because they all good.
They're all amazing. They're all
But
amazing.
is that the number that you really feel like they're stacked in? Should be stacked in?
I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say. First off, Cypher is amazing, and he's won plenty of our awards, and he's going to be really, really good moving forward. I just think the world of him, his father, his mother. I just think they're amazing. I mean, I really, really do. And Cypher's going to be good. But here's how I answer this question. I'm going to answer this question with a rebuttal to you, right? If you say, well, he's off right now.
He can hear you. Go ahead.
I can hear you.
I got to hear this one.
All
He
right,
can hear
cool.
you. Yeah.
Here will be my response. If you say he's top 5, which nothing is wrong with that. That's your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you take out of that top 5?
Who do I take out of the top 5 for Cypher?
And let me ask you a question. Now, here will be my only rebuttal to you. Are you saying something that you think? Or are you saying, hey, I've watched all these players play consistently or multiple times, and here's where my decision comes from? That would be that's my only thing I bring up to you, right? So if you haven't watched them play multiple times, sometimes you got to eat it. Now, if you're about to go and say you watch all these players play multiple times, then I'll roll with you, and your opinion now has some weight to it. But go ahead.
Okay, so I watch Quali from RDU. I watch him quite often.
Did you watch them this year?
This year, only probably like
how many?
One game.
I did a couple. I did a couple of their games.
That's it. That's only.
Don't watch the one game.
Okay.
What game was it?
What
game was it?
What middle school? I don't remember what middle school, but I watched them one time this year.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Casey Barner?
Judging by because I actually, it's hard to get in Carrollton games. I just watch far as the film, so I was able to watch one. But
it's not hard. You can pay your money, walk right up on in there.
Nah, I'm talking about filming. So when I'm not able to film, I don't go. Right.
You
can
go in the stands and film.
Man, I ain't doing all that. But anyway, I'll say that literally, if I can take one out, and I don't want to do this because I feel like it's singling out a player.
It's okay.
One thing that I can say is right now, RJ Brown. I can put Cypher in for that player. Okay, I can put him in the top 5. Now, like I said, now Webb Scott, number 99. That dude's a dog. I'm keeping him where he at. I'm keeping that young man where he at. But like,
how many times you seen Webb Scott play this year?
Well, mostly like I've been keeping track of his highlights. I haven't watched an actual game, so I've been keeping track like of the highlights, his storyline, and stuff like that, or whatever. But yes, so I was able to watch him. But like I said, man, that young man is a dog. He's damn near 6 feet plus. And I think he could play, both sides, even though I've seen him mostly on like the D line.
All right, so let me in your opinion is your opinion. Now, here's what I'm going to ask for you. Why would you take Robert Brown out top
5? If I had to put in Cypher, then that's why. That's the only reason why. I think
I need a football reason.
Because I think that if I'm a coach, I'm going to first go with if I had to pick a team that I have to basically start a team with, I need a legitimate quarterback first. See, and that's the thing. And that's why I feel like, what's his name? KC. I feel like he deserved the number 1 because he's actually an athlete. He could play the quarterback, safety. He could play all those positions.
Casey
so
I'm on, Casey line up at quarterback. He don't play quarterback.
He can play. I've seen him.
Casey lines up at quarterback. Casey.
No, I know with Invictus, when he played with them and stuff like that, at the B2C and all that. I know he played a Wildcat. He could play basically the safety, the corner. He could play receiver. That's why he's called athlete. But like I said, I agree with that. But Casey can also make a team win. You feel what I'm saying? So he can play the quarterback position. He's equally good at that position as well. But when I'm talking about you think
Casey Barner is good at quarterback? Like not good. Let's not say that. You think Casey, you will start your team with Casey at quarterback?
I can, yes. Emphatically, 100%, yes.
Over now, here's now Casey's our number 1 player. So here's what I give my comp to. Casey is the closest thing we've seen to Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is one of just the best players I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Casey Barner is the closest thing to him. His attitude is humble. I'm getting to know his circle around him a little bit better. Good people. I don't know if I would start a team with Casey at quarterback, though.
No, I wouldn't. But what I'm saying is he can.
You're talking about going into high school. You would start a team with KC at quarterback.
I can. I really can.
6A football, 5A football, 4A football. Where do you start him at?
With the right coaching, yes, I can. I could put him at quarterback.
All right. Well, give me a comparison then. Who would KC be a quarterback?
If I had to,
it's the scheme. It's all about the scheme.
Yeah, I don't like.
Who?
It's all about the scheme. I wouldn't start. I wouldn't start the.
I would. I could. I mean, I wouldn't say that would be my initial thought because I feel like I can utilize him in other areas, but for that reason, I can do that. You feel what I'm saying?
But again, let's talk football.
Okay, we talking football.
Who would he compare to that you've seen play high school football or college football or pro football? And whatever your opinion is going to be, it's going to be your opinion. Who would you compare him to that you would put him in the backfield and start him at your quarterback position?
I mean, I could say, honestly,
okay,
Lamar,
that's okay.
Like I could say like a Lamar Jackson. I could say a Lamar Jackson. A Lamar Jackson, a runner, a passer.
Who?
I could say a Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
I can say that because he can run the ball and he actually can pass. See, that's the thing. Nobody literally has watched KC like I have.
Lamar Jackson.
Let me get in here.
With more
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, yes.
Let me get in here, man.
Do you know how fast Lamar Jackson is?
Yeah, that dude, he quick. He definitely
He
quick.
quick. No. Lamar Jackson is ungodly fast.
Okay.
Like he makes NFL players look slow.
Man, I should have put my stuff together.
No. Hey, no. Lamar Jackson a whole different animal. That's a whole different animal. Now, here's what I would say. RJ Brown, and I know you just picked the person that you don't know, right? And I understand that. That's fine. RJ Brown out
What
of
you mean?
Hinesville.
Hold on. I know RJ. RJ used to play for then he used to play for
He played
is
for
that
me.
Air Breeze?
Well, now
Rare
he
Breeze,
played
right?
for, yeah.
Did you watch RJ this year?
He played for the Chasers.
Did you watch?
Not much.
Not much.
Not at all. Not at
No.
all. Actually, no.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So even you know what? I'll break it down in one small weekend. Even when he did our weekend game, our All American game, all the coaches signed off as him being the best lineman, best technique, best in run game, pass game, smart, picks up, and he'll have a chance to start at Savannah Christian. Savannah Christian is what are they, 4A, 3A, somewhere around there, and they went to the state championship last year. So you're talking about a player that is phenomenal, and all the schools have been trying to get him. All the schools, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I would move him out of the top 5. And again, that's why I always ask people, you know, have a debate. Have a debate with me. That's fine. Not a problem. But when you have the debate, make sure you've seen these players play. You know what I'm saying? So if you've seen these players play, then you can come back and say, well, Alex, this kid here, I feel that, you know, player B should be in top 5 because I've seen him play, because I've watched him, because I know what he can do. You know, one thing that you might not know about the what team was it out there? Calhoun, Cartersville, not Cartersville, Carrollton. Carrollton was actually a very balanced team. You know what I'm saying? They were a very balanced team. Matter of fact, I was at the game, and the only reason well, not the only reason, but one of the main reasons they lost the game because the kid Tyler Boyd, who's phenomenal running back and defensive back, he had a broke hand. So he was carrying the football with a broke hand. They were able to strip that thing out of there, and there was 2 turnovers on that. And some other things happened in that game as well. But at the end of the day, North Carolina played a fantastic game, and Christian Peacock was outstanding. Outstanding. So I think that, you know, and because it sounds like when we're defending the rankings, like the kids aren't no good or whatever. No, all those kids on that list are amazing. They deserve to be where they're at.
Absolutely.
I don't think, and I've looked at that list probably 50 times, and I think me personally, I would keep everybody there, especially that top 10 to me. That top 10, when you start to get calls from Power Fives saying, hey, that top 10 is unreal. And like I keep telling everybody, this top 10 or this class has a chance to be just as good as the 2026 class. And even though Julie,
Alex,
yeah, go ahead.
I have one. I have 2.
Go ahead. All right,
I'm gonna start with my first one.
yes.
Okay, when it comes to quarterbacks, all right. I just want to know what the thinking is with Cannon. I think he on the list was either the 3rd or the 4th quarterback.
That's my guy. I like Cannon.
Rated on the list.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is it maybe because he didn't finish the middle school year? Because I think he got injured, or is it what is y'all thinking on him? Because if we just looking at the totality of his game and what he's produced,
yeah,
he's one of the top producers in the class.
It's phenomenal.
Talking about
it's phenomenal.
Travel and middle school. So
it's phenomenal.
I'm just wondering what's y'all thought process on why he's one of the 3rd or 4th best quarterbacks.
Why is 3rd, 4th? Yeah, I think when you look at Cannon, you're saying okay, because remember now, Cannon's won our quarterback of the year since he was a little kid.
And that's what threw me off about it.
Yeah,
because he's won best quarterback of the year for y'all for 3 years, and then when the ranks come out, he's the 3rd or 4th best quarterback.
Yeah. Now, what people have to also remember too is, when you're looking at the gala, you're looking at production. You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at rankings, sometimes things change. And I'm gonna give you a great example. Uh, there was a kid that year. Oh God, what was his name? It wasn't Justin Fields. Justin wasn't as good as people think he was when he was younger. He really wasn't. He developed a lot when he got to high school. Emory, golly, it was Emory's last name. Emory Jones. I think he's at Cincinnati right now. He went to Florida out of college, or Florida out of high school. And we were debating between Emory Jones and Trevor Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? It was a couple other kids too, but it was really those two. And Emory had a lot of talent around him. You know what I'm saying? Could do a lot of multiple things. But when you looked down the road, you said, okay, Trevor got a chance to win the Heisman. You know what I'm saying? And not to say we've had the conversation about that with these particular quarterbacks. We do think they're all going to be good. But as of today, um, I think that it doesn't hurt a quarterback, but you can see more of a quarterback when they don't have as much talent around them. You know what I'm saying? And that's nobody's fault. But I would tell people to go back and look at some of your favorite quarterbacks right now. Look at Pat Mahomes. Look how he was in college. He had that much talent around him. You know what I'm saying? They were able to make it work. The reason people remember Deshaun Watson is because you remember him going into Buford and beating Buford. You remember Deshaun beating Alabama. Bama. You know what I'm saying? And Clemson wasn't even like that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? They had some dudes, but it was all Deshaun Watson's show. Not all of it, but he was a heavy part of it. So again, it's nothing Cannon has done wrong. I think he exceeded all expectations. He did fantastic. I got a chance to see him at the camp. Oh God, he looked great. But I tell you what, the other kid looked great too. The Pearson Delgado kid looked fantastic. Pearson's about 6'2" now, slinging the ball around. The Harris kid couldn't make it, but you're talking about the Harris kid is getting all the reps right now for Cartersville, going to their spring game. You see what I'm saying? So, when you look at those things, it's nothing bad anybody's done. And when we're saying, he's number 3 in the state,
it's
wow.
not terrible. It's just when
ain't
I'm
bad.
looking at his production,
But
all
I
these
understand.
quarterbacks have great production.
Yeah.
And then that kind of leads.
I would say Cannon has probably the most production.
Okay. So this is when your projection comes in.
Yeah. I would say he has the most production. Probably. Well, no, the kid from North Cobb has the most production, but nonetheless, Cannon is up there. Cannon is up top 3 production wise. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is when we was talking about earlier. He has the production, but then y'all look at the projection.
Sometimes you gotta look at the projection. You say, okay. And you say, you know what? I'll say this because it's so hard talking about these kids. I love them all. It's tough for me. And I remember saying, I remember him hit me up saying, "Hey, this is what we're gonna talk about." I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, but at the same time, it's fair. These are fair questions. But I think when you look at arm strength, that will come in time. You just have to give Cannon some more time. When you look at velocity of ball, when you look at the arm talent, different things like that, those things are going to come as he gets older. And when I look at Cannon, Cannon, he reminds me of a quarterback named Ryan Glover. Ryan Glover went to Woodward Academy, went to, I want to say Penn, went to somewhere in college, some Ivy League school. And they're very similar, very good mind. Ryan was a little bit smaller when he came into high school, though. Ended up growing to 6'2", but just the way he delivered the ball his freshman year was pretty similar. But as he grew, Ryan took his team to the quarterfinals. They were the only team that gave Cartersville a run that year. That should have been a state championship game. So that's kind of where he reminds me of where he'll be at.
Okay. So does not playing middle school ball hurt when it comes to y'all rankings?
No, it doesn't hurt.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt. Because look at Casey. I think Casey played both.
He played both.
Yeah.
Most of the kids in y'all on y'all list either played middle school, played both, but it's not many kids that strictly played travel.
I think Aiden. Well, it's hard to say, Trap. Like I don't know. I feel different about. I think football is football, right? I think middle
Okay.
school, you got middle school, or you're not playing middle school,
Okay.
right? So Aiden Poirier didn't play middle school ball
Mm-hmm.
in the area he's from, GFL.
Mm-hmm.
They're not associated with school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they play a version of rec ball, or just not middle school ball, and that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
he did really well. All right.
Well,
So but like I said, so when you look at certain talents, height, some people have that over him right now, over Cannon, but give it time, he'll be
Okay.
good. Now, so as far
Okay.
as to answer the question about middle school ball,
Mm-hmm.
no, man, that stuff don't matter, man.
Okay. We
That
just
stuff
wanted to
don't
make
matter. I
sure.
mean, but what does matter is I'm gonna give you a conversation I had with
Okay.
and I can tell you this because this is me and him joke about this all the time. So everybody loves Julian Lewis. Everybody loves Julian. And Julian was on a loaded team. I mean, loaded. My God, man, he just had to throw the ball up in the air and them kids go get it. Doesn't take away from Julian's talent. It's just that was the true thing that was happening.
Right.
And me and his dad had a conversation, and long story short, he ends up going to Pace Academy. And Pace Academy didn't have as much talent, but they had Coach Ron Veal over there. And Coach Ron Veal taught him the nuances of the game at the quarterback position, right? And he took that team that wasn't that good, and he led them as best as they could. And without him, I don't think they win a game. You know what I'm saying? So I think when you look at situations like that, can I put this kid in a situation and day one, can he make them better?
Okay.
Day one, can he make them better? And that's what we look at when it comes to that middle school and the rec. If you're on a loaded team, again, it's easy when you got time. It's easy when you just throw the ball up in the air and you got some guys that can go get it. You know what I'm saying? When the separation, when the window's this wide, you can't really see. Let's say that's why. When the window's that wide or whatever, as you're throwing in, it doesn't make the kid no better, no worse, I should say. But that's just the reality of it, right? You need pushback.
Okay.
You need pushback. You need failure. You need to get your helmet knocked off. You need to go through all those things. And can you still come in after throwing 2 and 3 interceptions in a big game,
right,
and still be that guy?
So let me ask a question, man.
Yeah,
so what do you feel? Which one do you feel is harder, middle school ball or rec ball? Which one you feel overall is better?
Yeah, man. I mean, we've done both of them. I did both of them with my kid. I think it just depends, man. It depends. I think sometimes you can get on a team and, I mean, you so loaded, you loaded. Yeah. Is that not the truth?
Because the reason I ask is because you got teams. Because personally, I feel like recreation ball is a lot harder than middle school ball. That's just me personally. Possibly. And so when I see when I see like you got players that are doing really well in recreational ball, and then they still not making the top 50 list, then that makes me think that your caterance is more towards the middle school ball as opposed to everything. Because if I can, say what I believe that you actually spent more time looking at high school and middle school ball as opposed to, looking at, both. Because you're only one person, so you don't have that opportunity to look at everything.
Well, hold on. We do have a staff, and I'm very proud.
Go ahead.
That we mentioned earlier. That earlier, but go ahead.
Okay, so but look, I feel like when you got certain players like Knapp, you got certain players
I was just about to get to him.
You got two-way Trey. I think that's a person that belongs there. When you got people like Gavin Kitchen, that's a really good player. You got other linemen that's just as dominant. You know what I'm saying? And when they're not making the list, that makes me look at it like, hold on. Oh, and you got somebody like Hans. I think he's doing an amazing job. A young guy with the biggest heart, And I think that he's doing a lot. Because I actually saw Carrollton middle school ball more than anybody, because those are a lot of players from the RDU. But you got players like that that's not making the list. And I'm looking at the list, and I'm not going to say any type of kid, but I feel like they actually can place a lot higher than some of those kids.
So
those three particular.
Those three particular, but he did end up naming a kid playing middle school ball, so it kind of defeated the purpose of the conversation. And Gavin Kitchen played for Stevenson. I watched him play multiple times this year.
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete. Gavin is phenomenal, and Gavin, I won't tell you what's coming out soon, but Gavin and good Lord, what's that boy name? Naptown. They did make certain things.
Well, you can't do that, Alex. You can't dangle it in front of us like that.
The top 75 comes out.
Okay, come on, man. Don't do that.
But with Gavin's one of my favorite players, man. Oh, he really is. But sometimes, like I said, when you watch a kid and you watch him with a team that's very, very good, you're going to see a lot of things that he can do. Because I'm going to give you a great example. If you're playing linebacker, right, and you're playing linebacker and you're not taking on any blocks, you can knock the heck out of everybody out there. But it get a little different when you go against another dog on the other side of that offensive line, counting their business. And now you're taking on blocks, you're shedding, you're doing everything you got to do. You're dealing with an H-back that coming for your jaw. It gets different out there. So when I saw Gavin play with Stevenson, man, I thought Gavin was legit. I think wasn't Gavin up for one of our awards? Yeah, Gavin was up for one of our awards, as a matter of fact. So, you can't say that. That's hard to say. And we watched Dream Chasers about 3 or 4 times this year. Matter of fact, we had them at the gala. So, and then the lineman that you're talking about, I would love to hear the lineman you're talking about, but I think you kind of killed your conversation. Even though I knew where you were going, and I'm debating it just to do it, but you kind of killed your conversation when you said Alanson. He's playing. He only played with what you call this year, Carrollton.
You're Carrollton, yeah.
And because you said, do you only watch middle school ball or rec ball? But it kind of killed it when you brought up, hey, I don't see Alanson on there. But Alanson
no. I know that, but I'm saying I'm only said that because I think Alanson deserves to be.
Oh, your emotion kicked in.
Emotions? What emotion? It ain't.
When it comes to the Gavins,
so you watch
the two ways. I get emotional. I
understand. And that's an honest answer. And that is.
I get emotional because I feel.
I don't get emotional.
I don't. That list and I ain't see those three. I was like, Kamar Boykins at one time. Yeah, was probably one of the best players in Georgia.
I would ask you this, my man, Mr. National ID Chat himself. If you say you watched Carrollton this year, then who was their leading receiver? Who was the receiver they really went to?
I want to say Keys.
Okay, then why would you say Alanson?
Because I think that he made it easier for Keys. He made it easier. Yeah.
You sure about that?
I mean, the dude is a phenom.
Who do they give the ball to most?
Out of them two, Keys. I'm telling you, Keys always been a dog.
Who got the ball? Underrated. Who got the ball next?
Outside of Keys?
Yeah.
I don't know the other person.
Then you didn't watch him. That's
I
okay.
Didn't watch it. No, I watched it. That's Carrollton. Listen, ain't no team that I can watch.
Here's the thing. If you watch Carrollton, I know you're gonna say you watch film, and I'm just like, okay. If you watch Carrollton, then
I actually went to a game. That's what I'm telling you.
I asked you what game you went to. You said you can't go on the field. You said you don't want to be there. You can't.
Hold on. Wait. What was that? I said one. So what was that team? I think they was number 2. It was a number 2.
I would tell you this. If you watch Carrollton this year, you knew who their best player was this year. Or their two of their better players were Key, right? Mm-hmm. So as far as getting the ball, and the person they gave the ball to pretty much all the time was who else? Tyler Boyd, number 6.
I don't know that kid. That's what I'm telling you. I don't know that.
You don't know.
I don't know him.
All right. Well,
I can't tell you what I don't. I said I don't know. I don't know the person. Like I don't know him. I
You
can't.
can say at number 6. You can say at number 6. You can say the running back.
Oh, so hold on. Basically, look, man. I'm gonna tell you this, man. All right, could you answer me this question? How can my guy two-way Trey? And if you talk about emotion, that might be one. How is my guy two-way Trey not on the list?
I like two-way Trey. I'll tell you. You know what? Let me ask you this, because you said you brought up Lansing and you brought up Gavin, right? You brought up Lansing, Gavin, two-way Trey. Who do you take off that list?
Out of for them?
Yeah, who do you take off that list?
Honestly, bro, I
So
don't. I gotta look at it.
Let's ask a real question first. Where would those 3 gentlemen go in your opinion?
You talk about like what, like college or something like that? If they had to be selected,
I got two-way. I got two-way in
or high school
between 40 and 50 because I see you got Makai.
Yep.
I live on the south side, so I watch Makai a lot.
Yep.
I feel like if you're talking two-way Trey, him and Makai, I feel like they're right around the same area.
Okay. All right. Cool. Now and then who you got?
Don't make me take anybody off though. That's your guy.
No. Yeah. We're fine. Okay. And where would you where would you put the other 2?
All right. So I feel that
Kamar
Blanken
goes.
Well, that's him. Me,
Okay.
I got Kamar Blanken's nap time. I feel that he didn't have the best 13U year. He didn't have the best 13U year.
He did good though. I thought
he did good. It just wasn't what he had in the 12U year.
Well, because I think he was more the focal point.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think oh, guys, another kid. I can't remember that kid's name, boy. The receiver. Anyway, go ahead. Keep going. Mason, yeah. Mason, being on that team, man, Mason got all the physical tools. Good God. Mm-hmm. You know, Mason ran a 4.58 at our camp. That was with Coach Downs' time. Now it's handheld. It's handheld. Crazy. So a laser, you're talking about probably a 4.7, but that's still phenomenal though. But go ahead.
That's one kid I feel like, again, when I'm looking at your list, I'm like, okay, he could have. When I look at Ja'Cory Shockley, I feel like, man, we're looking at right around in that area, in that 35 to 40 area.
I think Ja'Cory made it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
I'm saying Kamari Blanken, we talking Nap, and Ja'Cory, I think we talking. We juggling maybe the same type of kid. So when I'm looking at Ja'Cory, I'm looking like we can throw Nap right around in that area with him.
Oh, guys, Ja'Cory's special, dog.
Oh, I definitely.
Oh my God, he's special. Yeah, only reason I called DeMarcus and told him, because I tried to call, people and let them know kind of where I'm coming from. Mm-hmm. With Ja'Cory, we just haven't seen him play against 8th graders.
Yes, and so that's my big thing. How do you cannot unknown. Have Nap? Right.
Yeah, that's the unknown. But as far as just pure talent, you're talking about a kid that's 6 foot plus. Mm-hmm. He might be 6 foot even. 6 foot even. Might be the fastest.
I think he's plus now, Alex. I don't know if you've seen him lately.
I haven't seen him probably about 2 months.
Yeah. He works at one of my friend's schools.
Yeah,
they told me every
Mason
day
at 11.
He was really big.
So, man, I don't know, bro. That means that Ja'Cory, boy, he like that. Mm-hmm. So, but like I said, with all those guys that are close to those people, I had an honest conversation with them. Like I said, even with DeMarcus, with Ja'Cory, and I said it's not that he doesn't deserve to be up there higher. It's just we don't know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when you're putting your reputation on something, and you don't know, then you can't. You can give a little, but you can only give so much. You know what I'm saying? But I do think when Ja'Cory shows what he can do against these other 8th graders, or if he reclasses, which what I'm hearing, which he might do, oh my God, sky's gonna be the limit, man. He got a chance to be. I don't know if he can be as good as Aiden Apore, because Aiden's different. You're talking about a national champion of 400, 200. You're talking about a kid that came in 5th in the. What did he come 5th in? The 60, the 50, the 50, the 60 at the Nike Invitational recently. And what he you're talking about a kid that 6'2" already. Godly monster. I don't know if he'll be good as him, but he'll be right up there with him though.
Yeah.
He will. If he stays DB, man, he can. God willing, he can get his school paid for free.
All right, so I gotta get these answers to these questions,
Go
man.
ahead.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so what can somebody like a Lansing do to get on the list?
That's my next question.
Yeah, man. First of all, I love Lansing, man. I like his dad. Yeah, I just think what they're doing all over there at Carrollton, they got a chance, man. Lansing, just just give it time. Just give it time, man. Look, I was a smaller player, and I didn't grow my junior year. I grew my junior year. That's when I had a little breakout year or whatever. But just give it time, man. Give
And
it time.
Lansing, you being punished for your height, man. So
No, you
I'm
can't,
joking. I'm joking.
don't punish them like that.
I'm
It's
joking.
just
But no, so okay, so we're gonna go to the next one.
everybody grows. Well, I want to get this in first. Everybody grows at different time because like when kids hear this stuff, like I know it means so much to them because they're working so hard. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna give them two examples. And it's matter of fact, it's Cannon's brother. As a matter of fact, Makai, we put him on our 7-on-7 team. I used to have a 7-on-7 team back in the day, and Makai and Joey Hunter, and they were the two smallest corners out there. But I took them anyway because I knew how special they were going to be because their technique was always doggone good. And man, they couldn't make plays because the kids were just a little bit too tall in them. You know what I'm saying? But now you look at Joey Hunter. I can't remember where he's at right now, but he ended up going to South Carolina. He's 6'1" now. And then Michael busted his tail at I think he was at Furman, became one of the top players. And now Michael's gone to Tulsa, got him a nice little, NIL, and he's living life. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, it's one of the things, man. Sometimes it just take a little longer to cook, man. That's it.
Hey, do you know this young man, Malachi Watson? He want to know what could he do to
where's
get
he
on.
play at? Where's Malachi play at?
I don't even know, but he wanted to know
In the
why
chat,
he didn't.
Malachi.
Where's he at?
Right here. He said, "Any thoughts on Malachi Watson?"
Malachi, you have to tell me where you play at, man. If you tell me where you play at, then I might be able to remember.
And
sometimes I do forget, but I usually remember either positions and numbers or teams and numbers.
Man, I wish I had that gift. I be forgetting everybody. Like, unless I just knew you for that long. But
Yeah.
So the next one I want to get to, the question is, what can somebody like Trey, two-way Trey do? Rontre, what is it? Rontre Welch?
Yeah, we took Rontre for our All-American game, as a matter of fact. So we've already identified him. He's a good player. He was, I think, because he was with Carrollton this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Carrollton was stacked. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, they were stacked, but they had some moments. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I watch you when you don't have that pass rush that only gives the quarterback 3 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Can you stay in phase for a little bit of extended time? When that deep ball goes up, are you in position? Can you make those open field tackles? Like I said, it's a little. The reason I say it's a little different with middle school is because it's not as much talent on one team, so I can really take a look at the player and say, "Are you that same guy?" Because, like I say, you can beat chest all you want to when you got 10 people around you. You know what I'm saying? When you loaded, it's almost like a fight, right? When somebody talking trash, I whoop you this and this and this. It's easy to talk that when you got a whole army behind you, but when it's just you and him. You know what I'm saying? Those conversations the same.
Yeah.
So with two-way Trey, we picked him for our All-American game. I think we had him as a finalist. So obviously we identify his talent. Mm-hmm. So he's there. But the kids that were in front of him are just in front of him right now. So he's there. He's there. Just tell him keep working, man. And the great thing with our rankings is they do change, just as anything else. So that top 10 might change. That top 50 might change. And those are hard conversations to have, but at the same time, those kids change so much, man. so
Yeah.
much 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. They go through puberty and all those different kind of things, and it's just one of those things where it just is what it is.
Yeah, you know what? I just gotta make sure that this thing ain't political, man.
Mm.
Then I gotta come after you, Alex. You know you my guy too.
I
So
understand. I understand.
I
Hey,
you know
what do people mean when they say something's political?
political meaning that you know somebody and you putting them
Right.
in position because you know them.
I know
And
all
it's
the
not
kids.
deserving. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's tough part. I know all the kids.
no, I know that, but
Yeah.
like I know that you know most of them, but
Mm.
and I think that it's not no biasness, but at the
All
same
of them.
time too,
I know all of them. All
you
of them.
did mention that you got a team, so maybe it might be some biasness towards them. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it could be
That's
some politics in it.
no, because when you've been doing it as long as we've been doing it, like I said, man, there's a reason we've been doing it 16 years at a high level. There's a reason when we do these college trips and everything like that. I mean, I don't know if you saw one of the videos that we released when I called the Arkansas coach and said, hey, here's what we're doing. We're offering right now. And that conversation goes on with me and plenty of coaches. You know what I'm saying? Because they trust us with their job. Like, you see them as a coach. I see them as a friend and as an employee. You know what I'm saying? That somebody that could lose their job messing around with us, picking the wrong people. This ain't no game, man.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't no game. When you talk about the Power 5 coach that I mentioned to you that sent me the list and all the names written on the board with the stars on there. I hope he let me share. I'm gonna ask if he can let me share it on social media. Of course, like those, it's different, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no, hey, I like you. This ain't no, you mean so much to me. No, this is about everything I do has set up for the next person. So when I mentioned Trevor, then here came Trayvon. And I said Trayvon was one of the best in the world. Trayvon Walker. If you ever did you come to Gala? Y'all ain't go.
Man,
But
you ain't
Trayvon Walker,
invite me. I've been waiting for an invite for a
it's an open
minute.
door policy, brother. It's an open door
Oh,
policy.
okay. All
Open door
right.
policy. Yeah.
But nah, man, I be wanting sometimes, just a little
Look,
3 seconds, but feeling
yeah,
special that hey
yeah.
man, my guy called me and asked me to come.
I understand. Everybody else be there, but I understand. I got you next time.
All right,
Hey,
cool.
if you're not busy next year, please come to the gala. All right. So
Oh, for sure.
we got it in. But
Okay, the invitation there.
yeah. So with Trayvon Walker, we said how good he was, and it worked out for him. And then the players go on and on. And then we came and said Julian Lewis was the best thing since sliced bread. The only way that works is because we hit on the head with everybody else. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you have to understand that we do it literally for the family. Like I'm not a comedian trying to act like I know football. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't no joking matter. You know what I'm saying? This is serious. So we want to make sure that mom and dad are informed properly, that they know what to do. That's why we had Coach Downs out there doing height and weight. Mom said, hey, my baby's 6 foot. No, ma'am. No, he is not.
Right.
He's 5'9" on a good day. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember there's this kid. He was a Power 5. He's a Power 5 kid, and so I put on there. It was on social media. I saw that he's 6'5". I'm like, God, do you know how big 6'5" is? Like
That's not
seriously?
normal. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's not normal. Like
Yeah.
6'5".
That's
6'5"
crazy.
is humongous.
Yeah, that's crazy right there.
To the regular person, 6'5" is humongous. I'm gonna give you a great example.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Newton is 6'6". The people he was getting into it with, one was my height. Well, he's a little shorter than me. I'm take credit on that one. I'm a little taller than him over Steph. And TJ 6'2". And Cam is 6'6".
Mm-hmm.
So do y'all see the difference in 4
Yeah.
inches? You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? And he looked huge compared. They
Absolutely.
people thought they were kids
Right.
because Cam's so big. But them grown men.
Yeah, that's
So that's
crazy.
what I'm saying. Like you can't lie to these parents, because here's what happens. They're gonna go on campus. This how it goes every year. You're gonna go on campus with our college trips, and you're gonna meet with a coach, and you're gonna meet with somebody who has to feed his family off of what you do. And so he's gonna hype you, he's gonna get your measurement, he's gonna get all that kind of stuff. And if you're not checking the boxes of what he wants, he moves on. You know what I'm saying? It's not a harsh thing or anything like that. We just find somewhere else for you where you're going to be happy at. So that's why I say, man, and nothing's wrong with you saying a political thing, but if it's political, then it's because for, like we said, the B2C family,
it makes sense.
It who just as a matter for Trevor, it matter for Trayvon, it matter for Julian. It's going to matter for everybody coming down the road. I don't know if you remember this, but I remember when I was talking about how good that Duluth team was. Oh, they were clowning me. Oh, they ain't this, they ain't that, they ain't this, they ain't that. They went down there to YNC, and I'm like, guys, they're not gonna necessarily win that because first off, Tyler got sick, and it's just that wasn't them, and I knew it wasn't them. But now you go down the road, and who are the top players in the country? Right. Deuce, Bryce Perry, right? Cottrell Webb, Tyler Atkinson, the one linebacker, Michael Johnson, even though he played Mike at? He's playing quarterback right now, touchdown. Michael Johnson, one of the best safeties I've ever seen. Kennedy Bailey, you know what I'm saying? I can go on and on. All those guys, loaded team, offers galore. But if you don't know football, you'll laugh and joke with it and say, "Oh, they're not ready," and this and this and this. But we know down the line, man, them kids gonna be special.
Right. And I think that's the approach that I took, because like even with I want to say with Mook, right? Before people really start paying attention to Mook, I've always paid attention to that young man. And I just saw a lot of potential. Yeah, I seen a lot of potential in there. Like, wasn't nobody really even trying to, get him the credit. And that's why I'm glad that you gave him something. I forgot, what was it, quarterback of the year or something like that?
Yeah, he won 8th grade quarterback of the year.
Yeah, so that was well deserved. I just try to give a voice to the underdogs, and I just felt like somebody like Two-Way Trey has been an underdog for too long. But when you told me that he was in your camps and you gave him credit and that stuff, so like yes, that's the first step. And the next thing I want to ask you though is, okay, you said you're doing a top 75. Are you going to keep the list the exact same way in the top 50 and just add the 25?
Yeah, we are. The list actually been done 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So, yeah, we had
put it out.
We had some other things we had to take care of first, but you're going to see tomorrow. It's going to be really. I'm telling you, you're going to see it tomorrow. It's going to be really, really cool. And
can we get a time, Alice? We waiting on it. We just told us tomorrow. We're gonna be up at 8 o'clock, looking at Facebook all day trying to figure out when it is.
I should be. There's that. We're actually debating number 73 right now, but that's a whole different conversation. But we're gonna get that out tomorrow. It's like I said, it's been done. So that goes out, and we got something else big coming out tomorrow as well that we're really excited about. That we hope you guys like it and enjoy it.
Okay. And really quick, and this is my last question.
You can ask many questions, you guys.
Okay. When is the next, and I don't know, you might not know off the top of your head, when's the next camp? Because I know some people who missed the Marietta camp. I want to say it wasn't at a good time for. I think it was spring break or something like that.
Spring break, I know.
So yeah, they was out of town. So a lot of people, I want to say it's Augusta, but I don't want to be wrong.
Yes,
so Augusta. I'm wondering when y'all next camp is.
Augusta, April 28th. That's on that Sunday. So we're at Evans High School in Augusta, Georgia, which is not too far from Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So just come on down there, man. Go ahead and do your thing. I tell you what, man, we had some guys show up and at this Marietta camp with a chip on their shoulder, man. Pearson Gala and Cannon Robinson had a great session.
Mm-hmm. And what goes on at the camp so that kids right now, they got about another week and a half to prepare and, prepare themselves for camp. What are some things that you guys are doing at the camp so that if I'm a wide receiver or a D end or a quarterback or a running back and I'm I go to a small school and, I just been playing rec ball. I never played middle school or my middle school is not really that good, but I know I'm good.
Yeah.
What are some things that they're going to come into this camp and do to be evaluated?
Yeah. All right. So first thing we got to see is measurables, right? So we're going to height, weight you. All right. Then we're going to go get that 40 time in, and we're going to get the shuttle in. Okay. So again, long speed and quickness, short area quickness. So we'll get that, and then we got some great coaches, man. that we picked down there in the Augusta, Georgia area, including a couple of the Evans High School coaches. And we're going to go ahead and put you through certain set of drills where we look for movement, we look for competition or competing, and we look to see who's that guy. Who's that guy? Who's that guy that when he gets beat, he's standing in the back of the line and I don't really want to go. Now he wasting mama money now,
Yeah.
you know, and I make sure I make it very clear what it is. You know what I'm saying? Who's that guy that, let's say, that quarterback that throws 2 interceptions in a row and tries to sprint back to the front of the line because he wants to go again, right? You know, who's that guy that when they're going O-line, D-line, 1v1s, who can get after it? You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you what, it's really, really hard for those offensive linemen. So a day like Paul Mitchell, how about that? From Dream Chasers?
Yeah. When it comes to the Dream Chasers, I'm emotional again. Those are my guys.
I understand. But now, and I want to say we did choose Paul Mitchell for the All-American.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Mitchell
did play in it. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you have a guy like Paul Mitchell that's super smart, golly, man, the kid like different type of smart. You know what I'm saying? And we had Coach Kevin out there, and the adjustment came quick. You know, Kevin told him, you know, hey, make this adjustment here and there, and here's things you're gonna have to do, and it worked out for him really, really well, man. So, yeah, man. Like I said, so anyway, we'll run you through position specific drills. Then we'll go ahead and do those one-on-ones, and we'll get out of there. I'm not gonna keep you long. I'll try to keep you about 2 hours, 2 hours and a half.
Yeah.
And get you up out of there. But I'm looking for your energy. I'm looking for the way you compete. I'm looking for you to win reps. You know, like there was a kid, Cameron Hurst, at the last one, who I was on the fence about. That's a bad boy.
Hey, yeah. Trap House
Meiji. That's a bad boy, man.
Trap House Meiji said, can you rank the positions?
Can we rank the positions? Well, I tell you what.
That's a good question.
Yeah. If you look at all the DBs, then you can go ahead and rank them from there. You can just do the count. And that'll be kind of where he falls into.
Yeah, he ain't on the list. How can you can't rank it because he ain't on the list?
Shout out to my boy Meech, man. Me and him go so far back, man. He's a very good friend of mine, and he actually did the first song, my first Born to Compete song. And now he's doing songs for everybody now. So,
and let me make a correction. Lansing plays the safety position as well.
So. I know that Lansing plays, man. I watched Lansing about 4 times this year. Okay?
I know, but no, I've always asked them why they don't have him running the receiver route, you know, more often.
Well, so what Carrollton did is they substituted a lot of their kids this year. So they had their rotation and they stuck with their rotation, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? I think in the game they lost against North Cobb, I mean, man, I don't know, man. It wasn't their fault. They just lost. Sometimes you just lose. You know what I'm saying?
And do you think North Cobb was the best middle school team last year?
No.
Who do you think was the best middle school team last year?
North Clayton was.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, North Clayton. But you got to remember, man.
Now, some people say it's because North Clayton didn't
tough.
play the same level of competition. Do you feel that way?
Man, I tell you what, I didn't expect them to beat Invictus like that. I really didn't.
I didn't either.
Man, dude, I was sitting there in shock.
It was a little home cooking going on. I ain't gonna lie to you. They called my guy run back. He jumped over the guy.
You can't hurt nobody, man. You can't do that.
Oh, okay. That's not legal. Got you. Yeah, I've been seeing that. You know, he had some highlights where he was jumping over people. They didn't call it back. So I guess they decide when they want to. When they want to.
You can't do that, man. You can't hurt nobody. You can do that in college.
Yeah, that killed the momentum of that game because they did not let up. I forgot what team that was.
North Clayton.
Yeah, I was in the box with you watching it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, that was North Clayton. Okay. Yeah. Now they
Clayton
got a good quarterback. I like him.
He was good. I think. You know what they do. Is they run the route tree, and so what happens is when you run the route tree, I can't just sit back here in 3. You know what I'm saying? And just cover that way. If I'm gonna run my hitches, I'm gonna run my curls, I'm gonna run my slants, right? So now what happens is now you gotta go inside and you gotta walk up. And if they keep you in 3, now it still means you have deep third, and these little jokers can run. So now they're behind you, right? So you're anticipating, as a corner, now you're on your heels and you're anticipating, okay, I'm about to drive down and make a play on this hitch or drive down this slant or whatever, right? And he gives you a little move inside, and now all of a sudden he's behind you and they bombing you and the crowd cheering, and there you go. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
It ain't nobody's fault. It just,
Yeah.
I think that coach over there, he has a pulse on his team and how good he
Every
wants
year.
to be. And I mean, dude, I saw them win some games where they were so overmatched. I mean, even with Invictus, they were overmatched, man. Like, what you call it? To me, Invictus was a more talented team, but it was just.
Nah, that coaching wasn't.
No, I mean,
It wasn't. I don't
he
think.
had a
No,
bad game. He had a bad game. I mean, it happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
I don't think you. I don't think they made no type of adjustments. I don't think that, like, I understand sometimes, you it just ain't your day, right? I understand that. But it was literally no adjustments. They kept the same cornerbacks on the receivers, knowing that they could not even stand in front of them at all, bro. It was no, like, I was like, all right, man.
I mean, what could he do? I mean, them boys' hair was on fire that day, man. So let's say put too hot. When he went too high, they gashed him up underneath, right? With those two little runners. Well, one was a smaller running back, the other one was a more heavyset running back. But really the problem was, I don't know who's coaching that offensive line and defensive line in North Clayton, but they got something they cooking over there, and that particular part of that team is very good every year. Like, what I wanted to see, let me not say that. What I was curious on seeing was that Carrollton team. I think Carrollton had a chance, but when Boyd got hurt, when Boyd, I guess, broke his hand or fractured his hand or whatever, that just hurt him so bad. Because Boyd meant so much to that offense, and defense, yeah, but offense, they just couldn't put the points up. You know what I'm saying? They tried to get Spivey going by getting him in space a little bit. But man, them losing Boyd hurt. Not losing him, but Boyd being injured just hurt them so bad. And look, man, I saw I saw that boy Christian Peacock go into his bag. And I'm talking about his bag. Like, I saw pick 6. I saw him. I think he had a touchdown pass, a long run, and then a pick 6. I said, Lord have mercy, boy. That boy just asked Meach. If Meach kid played for him, he was there. You know what I'm saying? He saw it. That kid was tough, man. So I mean, it's the reality of what it is, And also too, what you have to remember is, 8th grade is, you talk about rankings, right? And you might not have seen a lot of these kids before, because 8th grade is the year of the reclass. So even though you might not like it, it's the way of the world. People are reclassing all the time. They do it in basketball and baseball and everywhere else. And they do it a lot now in football. So it's becoming more mainstream in football. So those are kids you probably never seen before that we've seen. Like, there's a kid that's going to be at Rome this year to reclass. He's a quarterback. And we're looking for him to do big things, you know what I'm saying, as an 8th grader next year again. So anyway, all that in the grand scheme of thing leads into what we talk about. But I would have been curious to see North Clayton and Carrollton go at. Oh God, that'd have been a war.
That'd have been.
Oh, that'd been some good football, man. Oh, anyway.
Hey, so look, Alex. So I've been talking a lot, over the time of the off season and stuff about the lack of development, right? Teams stacking the deck, and then they going to these teams, and then basically the players are carrying the coaches, and the coaches looking good, but the players overall are not getting the proper development. Do you see any of that, within the kids when you transition from middle school ball to high school, when you looking at the style of play of some of these new kids?
Well, all right, I'm gonna answer it this way. I don't want to take that away from the coaches. Because if I'm a coach and my specialty might not be X's and O's, my specialty might be relationships, and I get players to come to me, that's not my fault. If I can load this thing up and have the best of the best in every single position, you better believe I'm gonna do it. Because he's a coach. He's a coach, and a coach's job is to win. People can talk all they want to talk, but once you start playing travel football, you are in a position where you're saying, "Hey, I want to play winning football." Okay, that's what you've made a decision to do. Now, with that, you have to understand a coach only has 6 hours of your time. 6 hours. Stretch, might do a little indie, but now we got to run plays. Make sure we're ready for this upcoming team. You got 1 day probably offense, got 1 day defense, might throw special teams in there, and then let's say your Thursday practice, walkthrough or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? Make sure everybody's healthy, ready to roll. We got our plays. That's what it is. So when do you want them to develop? Now, me speaking, do I want them to? Yes. And I judge a coach off of his development. I don't look at a coach and say, "Oh wow, you got these 6 kids that are going to be Power 5 players." They're going to be Power 5 players no matter where they went. Nobody wants to admit that.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
but then you got coaches, because I just watched the clip where Coach Saban, when he was talking about NFL coaches, how they are now upset because these players are now coming to them, and a lot of them don't even know the basics. They not even developed the right way. So that's why I want to ask you the question.
Yeah, because they've been put in a position to just win. So if little Johnny plays receiver, and I know little Johnny's fast, and I know little Johnny can run the deep ball and cool. You know what I'm saying? We good, right? They don't look at saying, "I need to develop little Johnny in the route tree." You see what I'm saying? Because they're there to win, and I can't blame nobody for that. I just can't. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's up to the parent. The parent has to say, okay, what coaches are developing, because you can go do some work on the weekends, but it's going to be harder and harder and harder. You're better off finding a coach that will work on that skill set with your kid, because that's who he's going to be around for the majority of the year, besides his parents and his friends.
Yeah, and that's how I think, though, that they end up catching up to the players, because a lot of players that are good in the youth football, sometimes it doesn't translate to the next level in high school. But then you got that player that kind of just put his head down, got developed by some of the coaches that wasn't really doing all that winning, but they were giving the proper care to that player, and that person end up flourishing. So I do see that sometimes it becomes a disadvantage, because when you run into somebody that's just as good, but they also develop and know the fundamentals, then that's when they kind of take off on you, So at some point.
Yeah, I think that's the answer, right? I think I want to make sure we say that, because now talent is talent. You know what I'm saying? So if you meet a kid that's just that deal and he ain't been developed as much, he gonna be that guy still, 9 times out of 10. But you are right. If 2 things are equal, right? If talent is pretty similar and they're just living off talent off one kid, where you got another kid, he's really being developed by a good coach, and they're doing some fantastic things with him, then yeah, he will overtake that kid, because he can play earlier. That's the whole thing. He can get on that field earlier. And when they get on that field earlier, now you're talking about, I'm going to give you an example, guys. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm not going to mention any names. All right, there was a kid that was just an all-star running back when he was younger. All-star. And his parents, I think they did the best they could, but I don't think they know what to do. All right, now you have the other kid. Same team, right? He came over. He became an all-star on the team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, running back. I mean, he was all world. You know what I'm saying? But his father played, and more was put into him as far as learning the game. You know what I'm saying? And so one young man and this is just talking football now. He's not a failure in life. We're just talking football.
Mm-hmm.
One young man goes in high school, doesn't do as well. Still big kid, great size, whole nine. The other kid, because he does know football, became a 4-year starter for his team in high school and in college. So that development, that football IQ, man, that stuff matters, man, because, you know, what kind of guy are you going to be? Are you going to be a one-rep guy, or are you going to be a multiple-rep guy, right? One-rep guy is, can I teach you a one-rep? Or do I need multiple reps to teach you? But you're going to piss me off. I'm going to get tired talking to you. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. No, that happens. That
Absolutely.
happens. You know, or are you an and guy or a but guy? You know what I'm saying? Are you a guy, you know, hey, coach, he can do this and this and this and that. Or, hey, coach, he does this, but he might fumble. Hey,
Right.
coach, he's a specimen, but he going to run the wrong route. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just it's just, yeah, I mean, that matters in the grand scheme of things. But again, it has to be, all things have to be equal. And it's like I said, it's on the parent. A parent has to decide, you know, are they going to put their kid in a situation to learn, put their kid in a situation to get reps, or are they going to say, you know what, hey, my little Johnny just wants to be on a team, and this team is winning, and okay.
Right.
Ken, and Ken,
Right. I think you winning. Go ahead.
Ken, this
Phil.
is my last one. So this just came
Ask many
in. Somebody
questions you
just
want to
texted
ask.
me.
Ask many questions as you want to ask.
Somebody just texted me. I know Ken. We usually try to keep it at a time slot. Ken, Alex. Someone just texted me. For someone who watches a lot of high school,
Yeah.
with the changes that were made, we don't want to know about the 5A, 6As. We already know kind of how good they are. We don't really care about that. For those lower level, the 4s, the 3s, and maybe even the 2s, who are the teams that you feel like these are the sleeper teams, or with the changes made, these are the teams I feel like are going to dominate now?
Sleeper teams. Ooh.
Like, do you think Cedar Grove will still be Cedar
No.
Grove?
No.
Okay. Okay.
No. Yeah, you have to ask me more specific questions.
Okay.
Because
So do you think Cedar Grove still wins their region?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I think Stevens is in their region.
It is. They are.
I think Stevens is going to get them. Man, they lost so much, man. They lost a coach. They're losing some players. Man, I hate that. I don't know what happened, so I don't even want to speculate, because I'm 100% wrong when I speculate. I just wish that they could have kept it in house, because that's what they've done for so long, and they had something beautiful going on. And I'm going to say this, and I hope everybody can understand where I'm coming from, but in the Black community, they don't usually have as much resources and everything like that. So to get a team that's winning, and to get a team that has, you know, that plays on TV, that has smart coaches, that has an athletic apparel deal, like, that matters. That matters, because you don't have that much in those Black communities like that. Those opportunities usually go to way bigger schools that in the state of Georgia aren't necessarily in a mainly a Black community. So, you know, it's tough to see. I hate it. I really, really do. You know, I feel like I'm losing a special friend there. But I mean, that's what it's going to be, man. So the next team, you know, hey, next man up. That's how it goes.
Does Stockbridge now, do they stay where they at, undefeated in the region, 7-0?
No.
Or okay.
No, that team they had last year was unreal.
Okay.
They were good since youth football. Now they got the 8th grade group that's going to be freshmen are
I say
good.
they got some kids. That Mason, I think Mason Freeman is looking at Stockbridge.
Yeah.
So they got some kids coming.
It's just, see, here's the tough part, man. With Cedar Grove, you were getting a lot of the good DeKalb players. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to go there. Tucker was starting to make a rise, so Tucker was going to eventually catch him this year or next year. It was coming, but now you're talking about going down to Stockbridge. them kids all over the place. The basketball kids like Eagles Landing, Dutchtown got a thing going on. Mike Johnson and them. You know what I'm saying? Captain Caleb Ivy's going to be going there. The ninth grader, the phenomenal DB. It's spread out down there. So, they're going to figure out how they can have those relationships and get those kids to come to that school.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the tough part because that group was together. That Kobe, the quarterback, and all of them. Oh man, that group was together. Oh God, they were so good. They were so good. So I don't know if they can. And now you got Coach Witt down there.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Witt's at Northgate.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
No.
Gonna be tough. Gonna be tough.
This is another one. Can Jonesboro make the same run that they made last year? Not really losing anybody.
Yes.
Really just gain. Okay. Can they make a further run?
Where'd they go last year? They went second round, didn't they?
They went second round.
Yeah, they'll make quarterfinals. Were they 5A? They're 5A or 6A?
I want. They're 5A. Yep. They're
5A.
Mm-hmm.
If they're 5A, they'll make the quarterfinals. Now, if they're 6A, then they'll
no, they haven't went up to 6. They're not that big.
All right. Okay.
That school not that big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, so while y'all talking, high school football, I like to talk to youth and
let's go, baby.
Basically making the transition, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
One of the things I think the assignment for coaches now needs to be a little bit heightened, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of these kids are going to high schools and they really shouldn't go to because it's not even geared towards the way that they play. It's not geared towards the life that the type of coach that they need to be around, right? To teach them life lessons. And one of my things that I always try to tell people is that, man, look, before you go to a school, you should interview the coach, see what he got in store for you, see some of the stuff that they offer, because you might be one of the top running backs, but then if you go to a predominantly throwing school, how is that going to help you, right? And so, like, I tell them to ask coaches questions. And the thing that I believe that whatever team that a child or whoever, a mother, select, they should select a coach that has a rapport with those colleges. Because if they don't have any rapport and none of the colleges are coming to the team, how are you getting them looks? Especially if a coach don't even know how to go about it. So let me know what's your thought about that. A kid interviewing coaches, and coaches should have some type of relationship with other colleges and stuff. What's your thoughts on that, Alex?
You're right.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Hey, simple. Hey, right?
I'll elaborate. I'll mess with you. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Well, you're not gonna be able to really interview a coach, but because coach gonna be like, "Who are you?" You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they're gonna know you, but depending on what classification you're going to, like 6A, 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna get on that field as a freshman in 6A football. Kids are too big and get your spleen ripped out your body. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you gotta ask the coach necessarily. Just go to some games. Go to some games and you'll get your answer real quick, on where your kid fits in at. Do they throw the football? Do they run the football?
Right.
These are gonna be things that you'll know quickly. Should a coach have college relationships? Yes, he should. But again, I'm going to, like I said, I'm I favor people more than I favor situations, if that makes sense, right? I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. You're asking a coach to lead a team, make sure conduct is where it needs to be, grades where it needs to be, practice schedule, deal with other coaches who are grown men, parents, players, the whole nine, right? And then you're going to say, Coach, you got to win. And then you're going to say on top of that, hey, Coach, I need you to do this recruiting thing. It's a lot. It's a lot. And they understand the position, and some coaches take real pride in that. I would say this, though. Yes, you want to coach with those type of relationships, but yes, more importantly, as a parent, you need to be doing the research yourself and putting your kid in the best possible position. So you need to be researching those camps and taking them to those camps You need to be researching, whether you get with a recruiting service or not. I don't know. That's your thing. That's what you want to do. Researching the best recruiting services and going from there. There are all kind of ways you can make your dream come true these days with technology. You just have to be the one that goes out there and does it. You know what I'm saying? So, because here's the reality. What if the coach don't like you? What if you just get on damn coach nerves? How about that? You know what I'm saying? So here's what I'm about to tell you what happens. I'm going to give you, it's not a secret by no means, but I'm going to tell you how it goes when the recruiter walks in the door. The recruiter's going to walk in the door and say, hey, coach, who you got? He's going to say, boom, 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 I got XYZ, John, and Lil John. Okay, cool. And the coach is going to say, the recruiter's going to say, okay, coach, who do you recommend we offer? That's a big one. Coach is going to say, okay, coach, can I see his grades? When they ask, see them grades. And if you don't have what they need on the grade, you might as well be injured and never playing football to them because you don't exist no more, because they can't offer you because this is their job. Let's remember that. Okay, that gets pushed to the side. All right, so let's say you get eliminated with that one. Then you might have, let's say you are a defensive tackle. Coach, he's a fantastic player, but he's about 5'10", 5'11". This is big time Power 5 football here, baby. You ain't getting on that field 5'10", 5'11". Now you can. It's possible. Anything's possible. Just saying, it might not be possible with this particular guy. Okay? Now he move you to the side, right? Now you move to the side again. So somewhere in there, you have to take ownership yourself, because a coach, when a recruiter comes in and asks those questions, he's back into a corner. He can't lie, because if he lies, then it messes up for everybody coming after you. That's what I'm saying. That's how all this works. So he has to say the truth. And so you as a parent have to say, okay, I have a 5'10", 5'11" defensive lineman. Cool. That's what it is. We ain't got no height, coach, so that ain't going to change. All right. What else can we do to maximize him as a parent? What's my job? I want to make sure he's lifting his weights. I want to make sure he's sleeping, eating, make sure his grades are phenomenal, right? We're gonna lift the team GPA when we come in, coach. Hey, coach, we check all the boxes, coach. And hey, phenomenal attitude. Talk fantastic. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like he started up under Juilliard or something. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we're gonna do it, because when this coach says, you know what? I really don't take guys like this, but he checks all the boxes.
Grady Jarrett.
That's what you're gonna hear. He checks all the boxes. He coach. He ain't 6'5". I know, coach, but coach, I gotta have him. I gotta have him in my locker room. Listen to those words. I gotta have my locker room, coach. I gotta have him on as part of my group, coach. I gotta have him on the field, coach. That's how those things go. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get recruited when maybe you aren't what they initially want: size, height, weight, whatever, speed. You got to become one of those guys. You got to check all the boxes. That's why I tell those parents, please get yourself away from these fools that will pull your kid down, because they are looking for any reason to say no. The transfer portal changed everything.
Alex, they don't think that. They don't think that. They really like these. Like I be trying to tell, when these parents out there acting a fool, they think that their kid is so good.
No, you ain't that good.
That recruiters is just gonna undermine that and ignore that.
No, you ain't that good. You ain't that good. The only person that's good is 6'8", 315 pounds.
Oh man,
that's the only person that's good. Ain't too many of those people walking on God's green earth.
Less than 5% of the population.
You know what I'm
saying? It is less than 5% of the population.
So, like, you're not that good, and it's okay. I wasn't that good. I had a phenomenal attitude. You know what I'm saying? And once I started acting crazy, they got me up out of there. You know, so I say that to say, do what you're supposed to do. Handle your business. Be the good person that you already are. You know, this ain't nothing new. You know how to act. You know what I'm saying? You out there fighting the 7-on-7s, acting crazy. Because we can't deal with that. And here's a word you're going to get labeled with when you're going to get pissed off. He's undisciplined. He's uncoachable. You get that label, it is almost like a death sentence. Right. It's almost like a death sentence, because they talk to each other, guys. Right. They talk to each other. You know what? Let's really think. Let's really think about this. Let's say, I'm gonna go local. Let's go local. The coaches that were at Georgia just 3 years ago. Coach Buster, was quarterback's coach. Coach Buster's now the offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech. Coach Dale, running back coach. Coach Dale is now the head coach at Georgia State. It travels. It travels, man. So once somebody's talking, yeah, man, this player is this player that, but her parent, man, God, parent, nightmare. Let them find somebody just as good as you.
Right.
They'll get your body. Get your body. Ain't playing with you, man.
I've seen it.
But like I said, the transfer portal has changed everything. Like, we don't even have as many 8th graders getting as many offers this year because the transfer portal opens up twice now. It just opened up today. It's opened up today again. I think it was today or yesterday. Today. So, when you look at it, guys, think about football like this. And I hope everybody's listening on this one. This is super important. If I'm a coach, I got 1 year to coach you. And you say, Alex, no, I'm going to be there 3 to 4 years. How do I know that?
Right.
With the transfer portal, you can leave tomorrow. Cool. I got 1 year to coach you. Either you can play right now or you can't. And if I got a problem with you acting a certain way, go. I don't have time. Everybody was laughing. Oh, they all on Deion's train. Like, oh, man, Deion is so cool, all this kind of stuff. Y'all ain't listening to what Deion's saying. Deion, tell you, I ain't got time.
Right.
Now, it rhymed, and golly, I'm sounding horrible. It rhymed because he said, I'm not hard to find. You know what I'm saying? But he keeps telling y'all, I ain't got time. I'm dealing with transfer portal. He said, because I want a kid that's going to come in today and know, hey, I got to play. How much money do you want? Either we got it or we don't. Either we're going to pay you or not. Okay, come on, let's play.
Okay. So what you saying the future? What you saying like the future? Because once they kind of grasp the concept of something new, what do you see in the transfer portal being, and how do you feel like it will actually impact certain people in the future?
So, like high school, how's it impacting them now? I'll give you that answer. So we were at the state championships. And I was down there, and we were in the coaches. It's like what? I can say this. It's a coach's suite. I'll put it that way. So it's a coach's suite, and I'm talking to a particular school, and they said, Alex, this is our first high school game we've been to all year. So what that means is there's just not as much value on the high school player now. Right. If you're a 4-star, 5-star, yeah. 3-star, I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, it's getting tougher. However, there's still a place for you to play. There's always a place for you to play. And the great thing about the transfer portal is you can go in and you can move up, right? So kind of like Micah did at Furman. And Micah did at Furman. Micah went in, did his thing, and he moved up. Malik was at East Carolina, I think ECU. He was at ECU. I think he went to, I can't remember where he went to, a team playing in red. I almost want to say Indiana. I think he went to Indiana, and he's killing it out there now. So, like I said, man, those are things that are there. That, like I said, with transfer portal changing everything, they don't want no player that is acting crazy or nothing like that. Like I said, just as a parent, remember your kid gotta be 1-on-1 to be out there acting a fool. You gotta be 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Because they'll bring, like, dude, Ohio State. Let me tell you what Ohio State did. Ohio State had a quarterback last year. Had one. They told that, and that he had a good season. They told him, hey, buddy, you had to compete for your job next year. I'm bringing in 5 quarterbacks. And don't care.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, the game has changed, man. You know what I'm saying? Because transport is good and bad. Because it's good, there's freedom, there's movement. It's bad because you're playing a grown man's game right now. And I don't mean a grown man's game on the football field. Football's football. I'm talking about a grown man game as far as the business side of it.
Yeah,
and that's scary.
And listen to this too, Alex. Yeah. So you're already familiar with the college part, right? Them no longer having that field. All right. When I read the the stuff that they were saying, and they were talking about the smoking, the drinking, the fighting, all that stuff, right? And then I heard people trying to justify it, trying to say that other cultures and ethnicity were doing the same thing and stuff like that, right? Totally missing the point. Instead of saying, like, you know what, damn, we need to change this, they tried to justify it. Now, when you sitting up there fighting and you're doing all these things, you thought nobody was looking. That's what happened. All that fighting and stuff that was going on, y'all thought y'all were getting away with it, how y'all was bragging about it, and them folks was watching y'all and saying, you know what, it don't do them no good being there anyway. Let's go ahead and move forward with this project, because when you're out there, acting reckless and stuff like that, them people ain't gonna have no regards into salvaging that location. So when they were acting a fool and stuff like that, they thought it was going unnoticed, but it went noticed, because that was one of the main things that they put in that statement. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, go ahead.
I think that
Alex is speechless. That's crazy.
I think sometimes I a couple things what worried me when I stepped away from youth football. I was trying to put somebody there because I knew with middle school football, high school football, I could have more impact in the kids' lives. And we came back to youth football really last year. You know what I'm saying? And I saw a lot of things that bothered me. And I saw we were praising entities that promoted stupidness. You know what I'm saying? And people fail to forget, that stuff don't stop when they stop talking on the internet. That stuff leads to stuff happening on the field. You know what I'm saying? For good or for bad. And so I think that sometimes we don't want to admit it, but we brought it on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? With College Park, from everything I've heard, it won't be the last one. These people are taking screenshots. They are being very serious. You have to understand a election is coming up, and these people ain't playing with y'all. And if you cost them an election, they ain't trying to have it. And that's what it goes. That's the reality of it. So, with that being said, you are right. You are right, Ken. I mean, it's like people didn't think you thought you could just pop off and be like that and act a certain way out there, and ain't nobody gonna find out. The next thing what's is about to happen, and I'm telling you what's coming. The next thing about to happen is people gonna start getting arrested. From what I've heard, possible jobs being lost. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna hit till it hit home. Like they aren't playing. Now cameras about to start going up in parks from everything I'm hearing. Because so much violence is happening. So I hate it for those kids. I think it's a doggone disgrace. I wish that they had thought through it more and probably figured out some more creative ways to address the situation. Because College Park for me goes back a long time, man. College Park, when I didn't have no fields, College Park helped out during the pandemic and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, we remember, because they still made it work, and we had to pull together as a state, pull together and make the pandemic football happen. Because people don't know this, but we couldn't. I'm not gonna say the league I called, but I called a league and said, hey, can you take over? That's why I almost get emotional back. I get so frustrated just thinking about it. A lot of people don't know what happened behind the scenes. But I called and said, hey, the teams that are inside the city, and mostly the black teams, they won't have a place to play. And I remember the guy said, "No, do you feel you can't control them?" control them. What you talking about, man?
Right.
And I took it on myself, and I knew we were gonna have fights and everything like that. That's football, you know what I'm saying? But I still took it on, and I did the best I could, and it was some good football. And y'all seem to have a great time. That's all that mattered to me. Like I was never gonna have a league. I gave it back to y'all as soon as it was done. Like, hey, it's all yours. But people don't know behind the scenes that we just don't get as many opportunities like that to mess up. You know what I'm saying? Or to whatever. What they do is they close. How this works is they close your area down and say, well, hey, come on out here where we have more resources.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that goes. You know what I'm saying? So an area that was amazing, you remember 10 years ago, was like, wow, man, the football's good, the community was great, all this kind of stuff. Because certain things happen, it's gotten closed down. Now it's no longer there. Now it's just an abandoned field or whatever. And, you know, other communities have risen up because of that. So it's tough to see with College Park. I wish they could have worked it through. I understand it's politics coming through. Well, to me, that's politics, like real politics.
That's politics.
And so, like I said, you know, we'll see how, you know, that happens, move forward. Say Tim said, how does the election affect things? Well, when you're dealing with community officials, they don't want to have bad marks on their stuff, right? Especially after they keep telling you. And then what happens is you get what's considered constituents in certain areas complaining about stuff, right? And if enough constituents raise a red flag, then you don't get voted back in. So whether you are with the police, whether you are with the voted, let's say, government in those little areas, and the wording I'm using is horrible, but those changes will be made. Those changes will be made, and they'll make the quick adjustment and get you up out of there, so you're not a problem as much. Hope that made some kind of sense. To Tim McDaniel, Shabazz.
Oh yeah, man, my guy. But
Yeah.
yeah, nah, it's that, and that's the thing, man. Like we as parents, we got to make sure that we lead by example. You know, far as the role that we play in the kids' life, because they are the ones that look at us, and we are their first role models. So a lot of times, man, these parents they be misbehave, right? They cuss people out in the games, and then they expect their kids to be a saint on the field. Like it don't make sense to me. You basically expect your child to behave and become more mature than you. Then go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I think you asked him a simple question. You know, would you curse Coach App out like that at Buford? Would you curse Coach Reed out like that at McEachern? With John, would you? Well, I know he's not there no more, but would you curse Coach Adams out like that at Cedar Grove? Like sometimes those parents, they know what they're doing, and they know because of where they're at or whether some social media stuff got them hyped up or whatever. They understand what they can and cannot do. The only way you can correct an adult is you take away from an adult. You don't argue with an adult. You just take away. You know what I'm saying? And that's that.
Yeah, and I know somebody in McClymonds out there, Oakland, California.
Yeah.
This coach, I mean, this guy was playing against the Modern Days, De La Salle, like those type of teams, right? And this man just literally quit. He quit. He said, I can't stand dealing with these parents. He said, I can't take them no more. Like, they feel like they have the obligation to tell you first, number one, how to coach. And if their kid's not getting in the game, that they can argue, you up and down and just have more say than what they should, right? And he said, you know what? I can't deal with them no more. So you got coaches quitting, because of the parents. You got events being shut down, a lot of because of parents.
Yeah.
You got events that people, and I said this already. I said, man, the way that these parents are behaving, it's going to be to the point where everybody is going to play at JP Mosley Park. it's going to be at that point to where every game is at JP Mosley because they're not able to rent any type of venues anymore, from these schools. So, a lot of people don't see it. They just like to, I guess, get into it. Now, it's okay to argue in a healthy way. Okay, my team is better than yours. We're going to beat
Healthy
y'all.
debates.
Right? Yeah, we gonna beat y'all.
Hey, first off, I'm all with the trash talk.
Yeah, healthy
Oh
debates.
Lord, I'm with the trash talk. I
Mhm.
think it helps develop the kid.
Absolutely.
Seriously. Now, there's a point when you get disrespectful. It's different, but good, clean trash talking. Oh man. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm 100%
It's the
with
part
it.
of the game.
Let me answer this real quick. Tim, we did talk about that. And I did stress that earlier. I said that I wish that they had chosen a different option to work through it. But you have to understand when a decision like this is made, first off, it has to be brought up. And let's just say brought up in a meeting. These things have to be brought up in meetings over and over. They talk about it over and over and over and over and over again. And then it got to a point where they had been watching them. I'm telling you, they had to be watching them for 2 to 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Of just, hey, this headache. And eventually they said, you know what, enough is enough. So they'll bring it back, but it's just right now, that's what it's going to be. All right, go ahead.
And to add to that, Coach Tim, a lot of times too, we talked about this before on our show. We don't go to community meetings, right? When they have these community meetings, these decisions are typical because they're building a condo or townhouses or whatever right there.
Are
Those
they?
things have to be yes.
Oh,
It's
well,
like
yeah.
$100 million townhouse and all those
Oh,
things.
yeah. Oh, they done. Yeah.
$1 million house.
Yeah.
For that to be decided, that's usually brought to in the community board meeting to say, hey, we have these people that want to give us these millions upon millions of dollars. They want to rent this field. And what happens is we don't attend these meetings, right? They're not going to put a letter out there to say, we're gonna take this field. No, we have to be in those meetings. So what we gotta start doing is the president of our leagues and we got to make it mandatory. Hey, when they have community meetings, that's something that you need to attend because in those meetings is where they make those decisions about what they're going to do in the community. And if you're not there, it's already been voted upon maybe a year ago, and now you're hearing about it, and it's too late. We've already voted upon it. You wasn't here when we had this open forum, and everybody said it was okay. So
Hey, you love when they say the open forum?
when we had this open forum, nobody came
3 people
to
knew about it.
say, right? And it's 3 to 4 people because
Yeah.
we don't know about those meetings, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's another thing that us as youth coaches and presidents of leagues and things that we need to start paying attention to. We need to start really ingratiating ourselves with the community and with that political world somewhat.
Yeah, no, that's why. I mean, you look at some communities and some community leaders. Let's say government officials. Government officials, their communities, they represent. They have such a good relationship with them because they work together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And with College Park, man, again, God, Lee, man, I hate seeing it too. Oh man, at College Park, we go back, boy. I remember when the jerseys were like deep blue. Now they got the baby powder blue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, it's tough to see, but he is right, man. They make these decisions a long time ago, and you can either go to the meeting or you can't. And yeah, they're gonna make them decisions, especially when it comes to money. When it comes to money, and
Oh
it comes
yeah.
to improving what they feel is an improvement, they're gonna get you up out of there because what they're gonna say is, oh, they can play football somewhere else.
Right. And here's the other thing to me that's scary, right? That the parents need to pay attention to. In California, they got a bill called AB 734, right?
Is that one where kids won't be allowed to play like till 12 or something
To
like that?
12 years old.
Yeah.
And when they mentioned in a letter, for College
Oh,
Park, it was 14 years old.
yeah.
They said 14. So now that it's a thought, and people keep misbehaving, maybe they're going to try to equate the misbehaving to the players that play football, to somehow them having cognitive dissonance or something, right? Or whatever it is. But if the parents want to continue to have a say in what goes on, we got to become more active because it went through the committee. So I think they got one more form that they have to go through in order to pass it. But like, if these parents are not active, it's going to be passed. And then you're going to have a bunch of students in California who are already behind when it comes to football because they're not even measuring themselves at the highest level. Because I just talked about that too. Because they're not even putting themselves in a position to get better, to compete at the highest level. Far as the teams, any team that's outside of the OG Ducks, OC Buckeyes, and it's one LA Rampage. Nobody else is throwing their hat, in the realm of trying to get better and compete on a national level.
Well, we're turning into that way ourselves too. I think that's because for whatever reason, I don't know why. Like I said, I just fully got back last year, so I'm not even gonna act like I've been around for the past 2 years. Like I said, I know everybody gonna hit me with the jokes. I know that, but just what I've noticed is even with this year's championship series, nobody wanted to play the best of the best, right? You had the 8-year-old group that wanted to do that, and I understand that they feel that their team can't compete, but I don't know. I took my little Parkview team and we lined up against anybody and everybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I knew.
Yeah,
Look,
them times can change, Dallas. They don't do
I
that.
see, but
Yeah, they ain't
I
doing
wanted
that.
to get the best out of our kids
Mm-hmm.
because I knew my end game for them was for them to go into high school prepared. That's what I wanted for them. That's big time 7A football, 6A now. So that's what my hope was, my goal was. So I wasn't turning down a challenge. I wasn't saying, hey, they're too much for. But again, this culture, if you just want to win, which is okay, then, and I get it, then that's the path. You take the path of less resistance. So it is starting to turn into that. I'm noticing football's kind of turning into that kind of nationwide. You'll have about 2 or 3 good teams in the state per age group. Now I'll say good, but the elite of the elite. And, that nobody will play them, and that'll be that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I definitely, because we're going on a 2-hour mark. I would definitely love to pick up on this
It was a
at
great
another
conversation.
time. Yes,
It
and
went by
Top
fast.
75.
it
We got to talk
did.
again when you drop the top 75, Alex.
Oh yeah, top
Talk again.
75, and then
Put it out there.
But here's the thing, too, y'all. Hey, I really hope y'all subscribe to here and you go to B2C Born to Compete. Go subscribe there because Alex is doing a lot, and I'm trying to basically get there to do my part. So as Fanatic, like the whole thing, man, y'all got to help us help y'all. Because if you don't do that, like you have no right to complain about whether or not your child plays here or plays there. Are you doing your part? Are you showing the footage? Are you letting this person, see what this player have? Are you doing your due diligence by going to camps? Are you doing your part before you complain about anything? And like for this platform, are you telling your kids about this platform where I'm trying to be informative? Are you telling your kids about B2C? Are you telling your other kids about about the war zone? Are you telling your other kids about other people that's trying to create platforms, right, for everybody, for the kids to have something to go to? Now, I'm a person, I rock with everybody, so I'm going to try to put your kids in a best situation to where they can get the maximum exposure as possible. You know what I'm saying? So that when I say help me help y'all, got to do your part, man. I'm only asking y'all to subscribe and bring your kids here so I can inform them on some things, and anything I don't know, I can go get the answers. You seen this game that y'all just got from Alex? You see, like, this is somebody that's literally doing this.
Yeah.
You see that this game, I did this to make it more informative so y'all can be in the know. You know what I'm saying? As they say, well, if you knew better, you do better. So now you know better. It's time for you, you know what I'm saying, to do better. So that's all I can say, from that point. But y'all got to subscribe to the page. Y'all got to go to Fanatics subscribe. Y'all got to go follow Alex. Y'all got to follow the people that can help y'all transition to the next phase that y'all looking to go to.
And let me put out a thank you, man. On social media, I think we're over 100,000 followers on all our social media platforms combined. That's be Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So we appreciate you guys so much for that, and thank you for your support, because your support is what got me on the executive board for the Atlanta Touchdown Club, which the Atlanta Touchdown Club, for those that don't know, is the one who picks the Mr. Georgia football. And so to have representation, um, being a minority, is huge. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very excited about that. So just wanted to say those things real quick.
Absolutely. Go ahead, end us out, Fanatic.
We really appreciate you for coming, Alex. We
No
got to
problem.
have another conversation when the 75 drop.
Okay.
All right, because we done told you who we feel like you left off. Hopefully,
I feel, and those kids are going to be on it. So
I
spoiler,
know those kids gonna be on it. My
yeah,
only grief is
yeah.
Cannon just got to slide up a little bit, but we'll figure that out. We'll see if you gonna learn. You gonna listen and
Yeah,
slide Cannon
yeah,
on up a little
yeah.
bit
And you know
based
what?
on the
The
numbers.
funny part is me and his dad are like this.
Okay. Okay. And if Coach Steve, if you're a Coach Steve like this, I already
Yeah,
know he didn't
yeah.
have several conversations with you about that
Yes, he
Cannon.
has. Yes, he has.
So yeah, man, we really appreciate you for coming. We appreciate everybody for watching. We're gonna come back tomorrow with our comparison of two of the top DNs
Who
in the
you got?
United States, man.
Who you got?
We'll tell you one of them.
Okay.
One of them is on your list.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is Chase Foster.
He's special. Who's the other one?
The other one is going to be a D end from
Uh-huh.
the OG Ducks. I'm not gonna
Okay.
say his name
I
yet.
know,
I'm
I know you're
not
talking about. I know you're talking
gonna
about. I know you're talking
say.
about.
Okay.
I was just out there. I just came from there this weekend.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure you. That's a tough comparison. To me, that's one of my. No, I'll take it back. No, it's not Ken. It's a DN from Lauderdale Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
a DN from
Yeah.
Lauderdale Lakes.
Okay.
It's him. It's him this week. It's the OG Ducks is next week. It's a
Gotcha.
DN from Lauderdale Lakes. We did that one because Dream Chasers lost twice
Yeah.
to that TMT team.
Yeah.
So, and we think that kid over 6 feet, got to be over 6'2".
He's 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4". I mean, his arms is down to his ankles. His arms is
Yeah.
down to his ankles.
But you already know, man. We looking to create the best way to maximize some exposure for some of these kids, man.
Mhm.
So everything that we do is it's easy for me to keep going because these kids, man, as I call them, these babies, you know, it's my main reason for doing it. So it's easy for me to do what I do. It's not hard at all. So you know, this is just another way for me to try to maximize exposure for them.
Awesome.
And so, you know, that's why we doing what we do. And we definitely commend you,
Thank you.
Alex, because
Everything.
like I wish it could get back to, you know, where it was. You know, when I came, look,
When you
when I
football?
came, when I came, I mean, it was a lot of mess talking,
Yeah.
you know, at them B2C games, far as like the Falcons United versus
Mhm.
the RDUs, man.
yeah.
Hey, I don't want to take you back, Alice. You look like you're going back right now. You
Yeah.
look like you're going
Man,
all the way back.
you know what, man? I tell you what, we're having some discussions to do some really cool things with youth sports this year. So I'm really excited. Like I said, I got league out now. I was probably going probably about 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
But
You've been gone 2. It ain't been 3 yet. It ain't been 3. It's just been 2.
it's been 2. But what we have in plan for the parents, for the kids, we're so excited for them, man. And I appreciate you guys coming out to the championship series last year. You didn't have to come, but you came out and rocked me all day. I know it was Alex. Alex was out there all day. Yeah, I know he was out there all day. I know I saw you. I thought I saw you. I know Amp was
You always see me, man. I be
So,
on the field just minding my business.
Amp was there. The gentlemen from Born Chasers were there, and they were all there to celebrate those young men. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, it's there. We just have to put it in the right way so it can be presented properly. That's it.
Okay, so you think in the near future, in the near future, that we're gonna start being able to get those type of matches back in the future?
Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. I think Championship Series is really good this year. It was actually really good as far as top teams playing each other. You know what I'm saying? Just not volume. But what I can say is July the 12th to the 14th, we are bringing the Autism Bowl, and I'm excited about it. National Invitational. We already talked with our partners with NBC 11 Live, so they'll be doing streaming of the Friday night games. For the matchups, you know what I'm saying, those premier matchups. And we're going to have a great time, man, and we're going to celebrate some people, and we're going to raise some money for a great cause, and there you go.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. You know,
Appreciate y'all,
as
man.
y'all can see, we can be here all night, but you
All
know, my
night.
guy Fanatic got stuff.
DJ Wynn, do you play at Kip? Is it Kip? I could be wrong. Might be right. Doesn't matter. But I think you play at Kip. Anyway, all right, guys. Yeah, I'm
Thank
out.
y'all, man. We really appreciate everybody.
All right, tune in tomorrow.
Thank you, Alex.
Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button on the way out, man.
All right.
All right, we out.